and stars fall on stars fall on.
Elvis Presley, 200 Cadillacs. I love Cadillacs. That's definitely one of my, I love Mustangs, I love Lincolns, and I love Cadillacs. And, hey, this was highly suggested, so.
I suppose you know I've got a lot of cars. People have written about it in the papers, and a lot of them write and ask me why. Well, when I was driving a truck, every time a big shiny car drove by, it started me sort of daydreaming. I always thought that someday, somehow, something would happen to change everything for me. You know, I'd daydream about how it would be.
Yeah, that's how I be visualizing, daydreaming about shit, man. I need to get me a little, you know, shit, man. 200 Cadillacs. This is an hour long, so this is going to be broken down.
I was actually the recipient of 3 cars from Elvis.
The Cadillac that Elvis gave me was the 1975 Eldorado.
My husband was given a bronze Fleetwood Cadillac by Elvis Presley as a gift.
I had at the time a Mercedes.
Eldorado, El Camino.
Yeah. He said, listen, you're Jewish. How can you drive a Nazi car? Now I want you to get rid of it. Now you have a Cadillac.
Not too much later, a few days later, we all got Cadillacs.
I'm looking around the car, I put that top down, I'm thinking, I'm dreaming, I am dreaming. I want to pinch myself, but I don't really want to wake up.
One of the first things he said was, I have a car coming for you tomorrow, and I said, I don't need it.
But he was more known for his extravagances of gifts and cars, and Elvis was a Cadillac person.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm really starting to see myself in Elvis when it comes to what type of man he was. You know what I'm saying? My main problem is that I give so much to where I'm actually fucking with this. She's not my girlfriend, but she's my friend who's a girl. I don't know. We're kind of like, regardless, sometimes she actually was like, used to get like because I'm giving, I'm always bringing up giving gifts, or I might just buy something and give it, and not just with her, but with my homies, with my family. You know, sometimes my family tells me, you know, don't worry about money.
They were his gift of choice. He bought his mama one.
Hey.
Paid for it with his voice.
That's some shit I do. Give gas.
Pink, of course.
Give a fucking Cadillac
just
away.
Like a baby now, that's a playhouse. Well, he drove his daddy crazy. The money that he spent. He promised him he wouldn't, then he'd do it all again. He loved his Cadillac.
Hey.
He gave a ton away. 200 more or less. Or so the pundits say.
What? Hey. I like that. Smooth.
I met Elvis on July 6th, 1972, around, I'd say, midnight. I was Miss Tennessee Universe, and he was Elvis. I was invited to go to the Memphian Theater after it closed, because that's when he would rent out the theater and screen films. And I thought, after midnight, that doesn't seem, very respectable. But I didn't understand at the time that that's how he lived his life. That's how he was forced to live his life.
Right. I was actually in grade school. He was just out of high school. I met him this summer of '54 in our local neighborhood. Elvis and I grew up about 2 city blocks from each other. And I went to the playground one day to get up to play a game. This was exactly the same week that Dewey Phillips played That's All Right Mama. And he said, "A boy from Hume's High," and that stuck in my mind.
I started working for Elvis originally April the 30th, 1964. I was a hairstylist in Southern California. Our reputation grew, and my phone rang, and I picked it up, and I heard this southern drawl say that Elvis would love me to come over his house to fix his hair.
I go in the huddle, you know, because any young kid wants to play with the older boys, you know, and I saw this guy in the huddle, and I went, that's the guy. That's the guy who played the record last night. And sure enough, it was Elvis.
Shit.
It was not so much the look, it was the look, but it was more the attitude. You know, I was really into Brando and James Dean, and this guy was all that and more.
We bonded immediately. We shared the same religious fervor. We shared the same love of Southern cuisine and very much into our families and family bonds. So we just felt, you know, immediately like kindred spirits.
And right away, he was more interested in talking and exploring relationship with me than his hair. And he asked me what I was into and what really interested me in life. What interests me more than anything else is my search for truth, for God. He said, wait a minute, Larry, wait. Just hold on. Just keep on talking, man, because you have no idea. I need to hear what you have to say. Please.
In my senior year in college, he said, I need you to come to work for me. He only had 3 guys working for him at that point.
Oh, shit.
And
That's
I
it.
said, when? He said, now. And we left for California that day.
And the conversation lasted about 3 hours. And at the end of the conversation, he said to me, hey man, look, why don't you just go back to your shop and tell me you quit. You work for me full time. What do you think? And all of this is happening all at once. I said, yes.
He treated us with a lot of respect and love. He treated me as a sister. You know, he treated me with a lot of love. He treated all of us with a lot of love. We were traveling on our own as the Sweet Inspirations. We traveled all over the country. We did Germany, we did Italy, we did the bases all over. But we would cancel anything that came up if we got a call from Elvis. We were very loyal to him. And he was to us as well.
I just called him Babe. I would just go in at night and I'd say, hey, Babe, how are you doing? It just sort of stuck. If I was getting tough with him, I would say, hey, Elvis, come on. This is what we got to do. And some of the medicine he took didn't taste good. You know, he would fuss about that. And I said, spit it out and I'll give you some more just like it. Swallow it the first time, you don't have to swallow it but once. And then I would call him Elvis.
I met him in '58. Red took me to Rainbow Skating Rink, and that's where I first met him. Got along great. I joined the skating party, got my butt kicked real good. No, I couldn't skate good. I just took it. When Elvis died laughing, the Red just started guffawing, man. It tore him up. So Elvis just told me later after I went to work for him, he said, I watched you that night. And he said, I really liked how you took care of yourself. You know, a lot of guys got frustrated and angry and mad, and you did it good.
My name is Kang Ray. I met Elvis Presley in 1970.
You taught him for how many years?
Total on and off 5 years.
And his degree?
7th degree black belt. Later on, Master Ed Parker promoting him 8th degree black belt before his death.
Elvis really loved karate, and he loved to talk about it, and he loved to talk to my husband about different discoveries that he made on his own, and it was nice. They were very, very close to each other.
There's a lot of stuff.
And Elvis felt my husband was like a brother. My husband was given a Cadillac.
Yeah, I'm starting to see a lot of myself, whether it's just the interest, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, giving a whole bunch of gifts, you know, the more money I have, the more I would love to gift to people that I love, or, you know what I'm saying, or people I fuck with, I would love to gift them shit. Mixed martial arts, I've done a little, got my feet wet, you know what I mean, a little bit, you know. I plan on also taking it further as well.
I say he bought at least 20 to 30 Cadillacs at one time, okay? Which would cover a multitude of 150, 200 Cadillacs since we've known him.
You don't figure a superstar like Elvis walking in a dealership and buying a car like that. You know, you figure he might call up and say, you got a Lincoln down there, this color, that color, blah, blah, blah. 9 o'clock Monday morning, I looked outside and there he was pulling up in his Cadillac. And he said, where's that car you was telling me about? how much is it? I said, $6,100. And he said, I'll take it. And I just froze because I knew I'd made one hell of a commission. And so he says, how long will it take you to get it ready? I says, it take about 30 or 40 minutes. He said, I ain't got that long. I said, I'll have it ready in 10 minutes. Before 9:30, there must have been a crowd of 200-300 people there.
Limousine pulled up, another limousine behind him, and 2 cars. Elvis was in the second limousine, and there were about 20 people all together. Pulled up there on Union Avenue, got out in the parking lot, and started picking out cars. He wasn't there a total of 15 minutes. Bought about 10 cars. But by the time he left, by the time his entourage pulled out, maximum 15 minutes, we had a good 100 extra people there just standing around. So I can sort of understand why he pretty much was a night owl.
It was at night.
That's crazy.
And at the time, his new toy was a flashlight that was about this long. And we look around and it's very dark out there because the dealership is closed. We're just in the parking lot looking around. So I pick out, I think it was called a Brome Cadillac for Vernon. I thought we're ready to go. So I start walking away and he says, wait a minute. He says, what's your favorite color? I said, come on, tell me what's your favorite color. And he's standing there with the flashlight and I'm looking in his eyes and I figure out, well, maybe blue. This is his eyes or something.
Right.
And I said, okay, blue. So then he just walks away and he walks through the parking lot looking for a blue car. I guess the first blue one he saw was a baby blue Eldorado.
Wow.
A 1975 Cadillac driven by the king himself, Elvis Presley, rolled out of a New Hampshire state prison today.
Nice, I heard that it's in New Hampshire, that it had been refurbished at a prison in New Hampshire. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see what it looks like. I hope it looks the same.
Medium security inmates have been restoring this glacial blue Eldorado for about 2.5 years.
Subscribe to the channel,
all
comment down
part
below.
of the prison's auto body technologies program. Elvis actually bought the Cadillac for a singer in the group, Sweet Inspirations. Bramante bought the car a decade ago for about $10,000. That is the same amount the king paid for it.
I don't know if I...
That's crazy. So he's just buying Cadillacs, so it's like, okay, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. He definitely spent about a good 250,000, 300,000 on just cars. Like, and then the Cadillac, like back then, that's a lot of money for a car. But nowadays, man, if you want a Cadillac, any Cadillac, even if it's like, they're gonna tax you at least 20 bands. You know what I mean?